You've built the foundation. You understand how to withhold, how to take power silently, and how to guard your inner circle. Now, we sharpen your most dangerous tool, your unpredictability. Because the one thing more terrifying than a powerful person is a powerful person no one can predict.
Hey guys, we're Strategy, based in Abu Dhabi. We use AI tools to make these concepts come to life, but it's our amazing team who goes deep, breaking down powerful philosophical ideas and showing how they really apply in everyday life. We hope you enjoyed today's content.
Power becomes absolute the moment it becomes unpredictable. Not when you're feared, not when you're respected, not even when you're loved, but when no one, not even your closest ally, truly knows what you'll do next. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. Predictable people are easy to prepare for, easy to read, and ultimately easy to manipulate. They follow obvious emotional patterns. Flatter them, they soften. Challenge them, they explode. Ignore them, they chase. That kind of person is never truly feared. They're reacted to, not respected. They're tolerated, not genuinely followed. But the person who cannot be predicted cannot be mapped. They become a quiet threat to everyone. Because no one feels truly safe when they don't know your next move. And Machiavelli knew. The fear of possibility is far more powerful than any actual action. Most people enter a room and immediately try to stand out. They talk more, they dress louder, they posture for attention. But the one with real power does the exact opposite. They become the quietest, most subtle presence. The one who speaks last, but says precisely what everyone remembers. Why? Because silence isn't weakness. It's dominance in slow motion. Machiavelli's true students didn't need to add anything to get attention. They simply subtracted themselves from the noise and allowed others to instinctively fill the void. And when people speak into your silence, they reveal everything. Their insecurities, their desperate need for validation, their overwhelming desire to be seen by you. Now you hold the psychological high ground. You're not reacting, you're not performing, you're simply watching. And the entire room subtly begins to orbit around your stillness. Machiavelli knew that perception was more powerful than action. But he never recommended being fully transparent, not even to close allies. Instead, he taught a technique that today's most powerful individuals use constantly: controlled contradiction. You must become what no one can fully pin down. You might praise peace, but be capable of violence when absolutely necessary. You appear generous, but never give without a clear underlying reason. You seem approachable, but no one ever feels truly close to you. This deliberate tension creates authority. Because people don't truly fear what they completely understand. They fear what they cannot predict. So give them just enough illusion. A smile with no underlying warmth. A compliment that feels slightly too timed. A kindness that never repeats. It makes them question, who is he really? And once they're busy questioning you, they're no longer guarding themselves. You've now subtly entered their mind. And Machiavelli knew that once you're in there, you've already won. Let's be clear, you don't need to be heartless. You don't need to be cruel. But if you want to stay powerful, you must learn the rarest skill, feeling empathy without letting it dictate your strategic actions. This is where normal people often fall apart. They see someone suffer, and their emotions immediately overtake their judgment. They confuse kindness with safety. They assume good intent where there is only convenience. And worst of all, they sacrifice crucial strategic ground simply to avoid feeling guilty. That's not power. That's emotional slavery. Machiavelli saw this flaw in rulers, and he warned that the moment your decisions begin to serve your feelings over your clear vision, you've already handed your power to someone else. So practice this ruthlessly. Observe suffering without impulsively intervening. Listen to excuses without softening your unwavering standards. Feel emotion, acknowledge it within yourself, but always, always move by cold logic and strategic calculation. That's what makes you untouchable. You're not cold because you're cruel. You're cold because you've seen firsthand what empathy without strategy inevitably does. It creates victims with crowns. People kill themselves for applause. They twist who they are to earn it. They sell their dignity just to be liked. But you weaponize absence. Here's how Machiavelli would do it. Instead of praising someone for doing something good, say nothing. Instead of reacting to flattery, casually change the subject. Instead of approving their ideas, subtly challenge them, then walk away. Why? Because the most addictive currency is unreceived approval. It lingers, it haunts, it makes people spiral, trying desperately to earn what you didn't even offer. You become their mirror, their hidden source of validation, their nagging internal voice. And now you own them, and strangely, they often thank you for it. Power isn't just in how you enter a situation, it's profoundly in how you leave and what you leave behind. Machiavelli never advised creating chaos unless you could vanish strategically before the explosion. So here's the rule. When your influence is at its peak, leave. Not permanently, but strategically. Withdraw from people who are becoming too familiar. Step back from dynamics you already dominate. Disappear from spaces where your silence is feared more than your words. Why? Because the exit is where your myth begins. Let them wonder, why did he leave? Did I say something wrong? Was it part of his plan? Let your absence echo louder than your presence, because the one who controls their own disappearance controls how they're remembered. That's the kind of power Machiavelli revered. Not control through constant presence, but control through ghost-like distance. Now you understand why this level of power destroys most people. They can't handle being misunderstood. They need to be seen, praised, validated. They confuse emotional chaos with importance. They never learn to walk away when they are at the top. But you're not one of them. You're becoming something rarer. A presence that bends perception, a silence that commands movement, a mind that stays invisible and undefeated. In this final transformation, you sharpen your most dangerous tool, your unpredictability. Because the one thing more terrifying than a powerful person is a powerful person no one can predict. Power becomes absolute the moment it becomes unpredictable. Not when you're feared, not when you're respected, not even when you're loved, but when no one, not even your closest ally, knows what you'll do next. Machiavelli understood this. Predictable people are easy to prepare for, easy to read, and easy to manipulate. They follow emotional patterns. That kind of person is never feared. They're reacted to, not respected. But the person who cannot be predicted, they become a quiet threat to everyone. Because no one feels safe when they don't know your next move. And Machiavelli knew the fear of possibility is more powerful than any actual action. Most people want to be remembered. Few understand how to become unforgettable. Because the truth is, your actions won't survive history. Your words will fade. Your accomplishments will be buried by time. But your aura, that's eternal if you build it right. Machiavelli understood something far deeper than mere strategy. He knew how to turn a person into a myth, not a brand, not an influencer, but a walking presence that lives inside people's minds long after they've left the room. This final form of power doesn't come from being loud, violent, or rich. It comes from crafting a psychological identity so sharp, so controlled, so impossibly calculated, that people talk about you even in whispers. Design your archetype, then never break it. People don't follow personalities, they follow symbols. Choose your archetype, the cold strategist, the polite assassin, the charming observer, and commit to it fully. Don't break character in private, burn the bridge back to normalcy. Your myth is only as strong as your consistency. Weaponize rumors, but never confirm anything. A powerful person is not defined by what they say, but by what is whispered about them. Let them think you have more than you show. Let them believe you've done what you haven't. Let them wonder whether your silence means rage or calm. But here's the trick. Never confirm, never deny. This creates a fog of legend around you. People add details to your story that you never gave them. And now you've become larger than life. You've become story-worthy. Leave marks, not explanations. Every room you enter, every interaction, every decision should leave behind a shape, not a clear memory. Most people explain everything. Power leaves confusion, emotion, undeniable presence. Walk out of a conversation mid-sentence. Compliment someone you usually ignore just once. Show intense interest in a plan, then vanish the next day. These are acts of memory design. People don't remember what you did. They remember how you made them feel without closure. That lingering tension, that's the shape of your legend forming. Make loyalty dangerous. Machiavelli never asked for blind loyalty. He engineered it. But more importantly, he made betrayal feel suicidal. Treat loyalty like a razor. It cuts both ways. Reward public protection in private. Destroy private betrayal publicly, without warning or threat. This creates risk-weighted allegiance. People stay loyal not just because they love you, but because they fear what disloyalty costs. The more unpredictable your reaction, the more they treat you like a god whose wrath is unknowable. That's the beginning of worship. Stop speaking. Start sculpting perception. Words are currency for the powerless. Presence is currency for the powerful. At this level, you no longer speak to influence. You simply exist in a way that shapes perception without saying anything. Train this daily. Enter rooms slower. Let others fill silence. Pause longer than necessary. Smile without emotion. Dress one level colder. These unconscious cues carry more weight than any speech. You're not a person anymore. You're an energy signature. Control the consequences, not the people. This is the final layer of unpredictable power. Stop trying to control people directly. Instead, design your consequences. Create environments where certain actions are punished, but never by you directly. Betrayal is met with silence, not confrontation. Disrespect is answered with exclusion, not argument. Overstepping is met with withdrawal, not explanation. You become the kind of person who never reacts, but whose presence rewrites the terms of behavior. Others start policing themselves in your presence. That's when you've truly won. Do you see now why most people self-destruct at this level? They want to be liked. They want to be praised. They want to be predictable so they can feel accepted. But predictability is a prison, and those who want to be truly free must first be feared, not for what they do, but for what they might do. You've now reached the third layer: emotional detachment, psychological gravity, and unpredictability as a weapon. You're no longer building power. You are the power. Not because of what you do, but because of what others become in your presence. To truly master the subtle art of power and influence in any situation, delve into Machiavelli's timeless work, The Prince. Find the link to acquire your copy in the description below. If you see me again, well, congratulations. It means you're starting to think differently. It means you're paying attention. And if that's the case, you already know what to do next. Because in a world full of manipulation, silence, and strategy, you don't follow the noise, you follow the power.
Thanks for spending time with us. If this sparked a new way of thinking, hit like and subscribe to keep the ideas flowing. And don't forget, check the description for the links to the original books and resources we used today. We'll see you in the next one.